In the days after, Mara does what she always does with the inexplicable. She takes it apart. But this time, she is not hunting a fraud. She is hunting an understanding. She watches her own footage, frame by frame, and begins to see what Ren sees. Not time slowing, but fear releasing its grip on him. The cup falls at the same speed for everyone. What differs is the watcher. A panicked mind chops the second into a blur, while a settled one lets it open to its full width. The realization arrives not as thunder, but as a quiet rearrangement of everything. Ren does not stop the clock. He does not bend time, command it, or step outside it. One deliberate breath simply drops him beneath the panic, into the calm layer that lies under every crisis, and from down there, a falling second looks enormous, full of room to choose. The gift was never power over time. It was freedom from the fear that devours it. That difference, she sees now, is the entire story. She turns every account over like a stone, and they all settle the same way. The avalanche, the bridge, the cup. In each, Ren had not outrun time but stepped beneath his own terror, faster to calm than anyone around him. What the witnesses called slowing time was something stranger, more ordinary. He was the only one not drowning in adrenaline, and so the only one with seconds to spend. The others did not lose time. They lost themselves to fear, and fear is what eats the clock. And there is the harder truth, buried in the snow. The 9 soldiers who died were not slower than Ren, nor weaker. They were afraid in the ordinary way, their bodies sprinting on instinct while the slope came down. Ren, in that falling second, had gone still enough to see one safe line through the chaos, and took it. He has spent 11 years learning to make that stillness a choice instead of an accident, so that no second would ever be stolen from him by fear again. He carries it to the practitioners plainly. The breath is not for catching cups, he tells the young ones gathered to watch the trick. It is for the moment the bridge breaks and a child is falling and everything in you wants to freeze or flee. In that moment, he says, the long exhale is the difference between a life saved and a life merely mourned. I learned it too late for 9 men. Learn it now. The room is very quiet. No one asks for the trick again. This is the moment the supernatural quietly dissolves and something more remarkable stands in its place. There was no stopped clock, no warping of the world, no soldier who commanded time like a god. There was only a human being who had trained the most human reflex there is, the breath, to such a fine edge that fear could no longer steal his seconds, and from the outside it looked like sorcery. The wonder does not vanish in the explaining. It deepens. It becomes, of all things, available. Mara writes it in her report in plain forensic language, and the plainness is the point. Subject possesses no supernatural ability. Subject possesses a trained capacity to regulate his nervous system through extended exhale breathing, suppressing the panic response sufficiently to act with deliberate clarity under extreme stress. She sits back. The sentence is true, complete, and entirely unmagical. It also describes the precise thing 9 soldiers lacked on a pass 11 years ago, and the thing she herself lacked at a table of falling pans. What unsettles her is not that the mystery was false. It is that it was real, only relocated. The impossible thing was never time bending around a soldier. It was a man who could be that calm, that deliberate, that free of fear while a bridge fell, when a trained analyst 3 feet away flinched at the crash of empty pans. The gap between them is not magic. It is practice, 10,000 breaths of it. And practice, unlike magic, is a thing she has now begun, reluctantly, to keep. That evening, Ren finds her near the water and sits without a word as the light fades. After a while, he says, "You're not looking for the trick anymore. It isn't a question." Mara watches the white curtain fall and fall. "No," she admits. "I'm looking for the breath." He nods, the smallest approval. "Good," he says. "That one you get to keep, and it keeps you." Somewhere far below, a rebuilt bridge holds steady over the gorge, and 3 people who should be dead are sleeping.